today we have a guest speaker, and I think the guest speaker came at the right time because I've been almost preaching almost every week since after summer, and I'm so relieved to have a great guest speaker joining us. 他是我很尊敬的神学院的老师，he teaches in seminary and he's also a professional counselor. I think we have good enough relationship, 所以我可以稍微笑他一下。对，在神学院的时候，we all the students gave him a nickname. I don't know if he knows. 对，we all call him Cookie Soup. 对，yeah， 因为他的中文，我还记得我第一次认识我的老师的时候，因为他的中文叫做酥饼干，对 ，and 我跟我太太就一直笑。But after we know him, we know 就是 we were around for laughing at him because he's one of the most respected professor and one of the nicest professor, and he's in a lot of ways sometimes act like a mentor for Sharon and me. So we're really grateful to have Pastor Anthony So to come and share his message with us today.
Well, thank you, Pastor Benjamin. And let's see, am I okay over here? You can hear me? I don't know, 1.5. Should I tuck my shirt in or should I don't know what to do? Okay, well, I decided to tuck it in. Okay, yeah. Well, it's glad. I'm so glad you guys have 1.5 thing, The thing is that, we have done a lot of research in North America. The immigrant churches, I think the future, we really, depend a lot on the 1.5. 因为两代有很多的问题。So I'm not saying that you need to bridge between the 1 and the 2, but at least that you could be very helpful, in terms of just growing this church because your ability to speak both languages and also your understanding of both cultures, I think it helps a lot. So I'm grateful that I can be here. Thank you again. Pastor Benjamin. Now, I know that you guys, the topic is on discipleship, and I think it is a very important, topic. And am I okay? I want to move forward.
Move forward with this.
Oh, with this, I'm moving backward. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is a picture of a pathway that was in some sort of a Chinese garden. The designer explained that the way the human beings, as we walk, 9 or 10 times we don't walk straight because a lot of times there's bumps everywhere and turns and twists, and so only the spirit will walk straight. In order to deter the evil spirit, so they designed, pathway like that, so that the evil spirit can never enter into their home or their house. So in a sense, it's true that, as a disciple, 我们做门徒我们有很多的时候很困难，不是真的我信了耶稣以后我一直就走下去。That's not true. It's pretty messy, you know what I mean? Sometimes we follow, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're nice, sometimes we're mean, right? I always remember the N and the M, you always remember N, M, you got confused. Sometimes I'm N, sometimes I'm M. Sometimes I'm nice, sometimes I'm mean, right? How many of you feel like that? Raise your hand. Today you're N or M. Come on, don't worry about it. The main thing is that there's never a straight path. And so the topic, the title of my message is Messy Discipleship. Messy. It's very messy, okay? Yeah. And it's taken from Matthew chapter 8. Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 to 27. And the 3 points that I want you to remember is that to follow Jesus, sometimes you will experience failure. You'll fail. Sometimes you follow, sometimes you fall. Is that okay? And then finally, I think the most important thing is to focus. Focus back on Jesus. Okay? Now, the background of the whole thing is like the disciples, kind of you see from verse 22, Jesus was talking to another group of people that was following him. And that group of people began to say that, I will follow you wherever you go. And Jesus said, no, you're not. Because, you have a lot of concerns in your life. Sometimes we do. We get distracted. We set out to do something, but we end up not doing it. How many of you have done that before? You set out to really, I'm going to really, religiously try to exercise, but then schoolwork comes in and kind of interrupt everything, right? The thing is that when Jesus said, he said that if you want to follow me, you will have to forsake everything. And then those people say, no, I got a lot of things to do, but after I've done all those, I will follow you. How many of you actually, you have also said the same thing, well, after the exam, I will follow you. After my project, I will follow you, No, you don't. The thing is that you might have good, intention. 我们就说啊，我要跟随耶稣，但是我们有很多事情烦着我们哈。So Jesus was talking to a group of people and began to say that I know your heart. You're not going to follow me. Then he turned around and he began to talk to his disciples. He said that let's go to the other side. So he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Wow. When we compare ourselves with other people and other Christians, sometimes we should feel good. At least you are here this morning. Right? Compared to those that are still sleeping. And and those that they kind of, party the whole night and, get hangover from the drinks, and so you're much better. So the disciples felt good. We follow Jesus. So got into the boat. Now you have to give credit to, this passage, normally when you preach, a lot of people kind of begin to condemn the disciples. They are without faith, as if faith is like either you have it or you don't. That's not true. 不是就是你跟随耶稣，不然你就不是跟随耶稣，没有这样事情。有的时候你跟随，有的时候你忘记跟随。That's the whole thing, So for them actually, they have followed Jesus from chapter 4 of Matthew. When Jesus called them to be his disciples, and then chapter 5, they sat through 2 chapters of teaching, Jesus teaching. Come on, you guys, there's 40 minutes of sermon here. I think some of you have a hard time of just, staying awake. Let alone sitting there for 2 chapters and the Sermon on the Mount. When Jesus was talking about it and there was no food. There was no food. You guys are thinking about lunch. I know that, at 12 o'clock, So for them, no, they follow Jesus. And then, the book of Matthew is like that, chapter 1 and to 4 is like Jesus, he grew up and then he called disciples. 5 to 7 is what he said. And then 8 to 9 is what he did. It's very important that we follow Jesus not only to listen to Jesus, but also to see what he did, and we want to follow, and we want to do what he does. So they were good, right? Give credit to them, give credit to yourself. You are good. You are the disciple of Jesus. Is that okay? Yeah. Amen? Well, gee, you guys, I don't think you believe that, See, the whole thing was that they began to get into the boat. And that was good that they followed. But here, the word used is disciple. The word used, disciples, is, Matthias. This word start with the English word math. Math basically is mind. It's like calculation. It's like when you follow Jesus, you don't leave your mind behind. Every day you have to make a decision. You understand that? As a disciple, it's not like, oh, I follow Jesus, but I'm not thinking, Jesus, you are sleeping, I am sleeping too, I follow Jesus, whatever you do, I do, That's suicide! I'm not going to drive my car by sight, I'm going to drive my car by faith. Oh, yeah. Well, Jesus told me that, No. Here. The battle is in the mind. The battle is in the will. The renewal of your mind is like, it's no longer that I make decision, but when Jesus wants to make decision, I let him make decision. Is it okay? So in your life, it's not going to be straight. When Jesus said that, now I want you to study medicine. And then when you graduate, and Jesus said, no. Now I want you to study theology. Oh no, Jesus, we have a contract. You told me to study medicine, and now you want me to go into seminary? A cemetery? No. The mind is very important. They follow. The reason for it is that you don't follow Jesus. You follow what Jesus tells you to do. You follow the instruction of Jesus. If you don't know the instruction of Jesus, you can't follow. Because you have to use your mind to receive it, to understand it, and to be able to make a decision. 跟随耶稣不是就是耶稣做什么我就做什么。In fact, this is a big problem. Theologically speaking, you can never do what Jesus does. Hello? Can you? Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to do what Jesus does. I don't think so. Well, I'm going to kill you now, and then I want you to, rise up in 3 days. Is that okay? How many of you would volunteer? No, I don't think so. And Jesus never expects you to, say that, if I don't do it, and you shouldn't do it. That's not the gospel. The gospel is that, that Jesus set you free to do whatever he tells you to do, but he may not have done it. I don't think Jesus ever texted anything. I don't think Jesus ever got online, or call anyone. But if Jesus tells you that, hey, text your brother, the one that's still sleeping, and say, God bless you, do it. But you can't say that, Jesus, that's not in the Bible. Yeah, you didn't do it. I'm not going to do it, and you don't do it, I don't do it. In the Bible, especially in Mark chapter 6, Jesus actually was staying in the mountain or up high in the mountain and looked down there when he sent his disciple into the boat to face the storm. He was not in the boat. Hello? He was up there. And if you say that, oh, you're not coming, I'm not going, you're not coming, I'm not going, you're not a disciple. When Jesus tells you to do something, he doesn't have to be doing the same thing. So you have to make sure that you're not doing what Jesus does, because you can never do it. And you are not doing only when Jesus does the thing. No, that's not true. You are doing individually and as a church what Jesus tells us to do or tells you to do. It could be different from you and you and you and you. When you hear something, you do it. Now, again, it is important that the word disciple, math, it starts with math. It starts with you actually understanding something. It starts with you actually paying attention to the instruction. If you want to do math and you never know the instruction, how many of you have done math like that? Yeah, and then you got it right, you know. That's good, but 9 or 10 times you got it wrong because you have to follow the steps. Is that true? Okay, so the main thing is that right here you have to understand that it was implied that Jesus told them to get into the boat. It was implied that Jesus told them to go over to the other side of the lake. Right? So, 当耶稣告诉你做什么的时候，那你应该做的，所以你要敏感到耶稣告诉你做什么，不是说就是要做耶稣要做的。So this is a very important point they follow. And then what happened? All of a sudden, we begin to see that without a warning or suddenly, a furious storm came up on the lake. Now this is a lake of about 4 miles by 13 miles, lake. And when without a warning, suddenly a furious storm. It's like earthquake. It wasn't like a furious storm. It's like earthquake type of storm. The original word is earthquake. Wow, okay. Well, when earthquake comes, how many of you would say that, what would Jesus do? When earthquake strikes, you would just sit here and say that, what would Jesus do? I don't think so. I think you will react. How would you react? You run. Right? You still have your mind, don't you? Probably 9 or 10 times we'll do the same thing as the disciples did. Right? It was the earthquake that came up, it's like earthquake type of storm, so that the waves swept over the boat. The word used here is like the whole thing was concealed, was wrapped up in big storm. You can't even see the boat. It's like a burrito. If you really, know how to do a burrito right, it should be all wrapped up. I mean, nothing, a good burrito is like you don't see anything in, the inside, but the outside is all just the skin. That is what it is. The whole boat was swallowed. You couldn't see anything but storm. Now think about it. That's pretty terrifying, I think. Wouldn't you think so? So at that time, suddenly it happened things like that. Now the thing is that in our lives, we always react to situations, right? There's a difference between reaction or react and respond. Is that true? When you react, that means that, your basic instinct, you just come up and then you just react, right? And it's not what you want, but if you think twice, you probably would not have done it, right? And someone offends you and all of a sudden, boom, For them, they were very nice, they were following Jesus, they didn't expect that to happen. But things happen suddenly. In fact, this is how Jesus wants to teach us how to follow him. Because there's twists and turns in our life. Things happen to your study. Things happen to work. Things happen at home. And things happen to you. Sometimes you are what? You are N. And sometimes you are what? You are what? Oh. You are M. That means that you mean. Sometimes you are nice, sometimes you are mean, sometimes you are so gentle, sometimes you are so angry. Sometimes you are so unselfish, sometimes you are so selfish, sometimes you are so pure, and sometimes you are so impure, right? I don't know why. You say, why? God, I try very hard, but all of a sudden it happens. Yesterday I was presiding over a wedding, and everything was supposed to be under our control, right? Wedding planner. We will have the rehearsal. We went through everything, and they have the manager, and should be okay, right? They sailed through this lake so many times, and so it should be okay. We know that. the weather forecast was good. But yesterday, I was standing up there when it was so hot. It's 91 degrees, 92 degrees. It was outdoor. And so I was asking God, just spare me from this agony. But then what happened was that when I say, well, you can exchange the rain now. There's no rain. They look at it. And the best man said that, I don't have the ring. What? And Brother Honor, I don't have the ring. Where's the ring? Where's the ring? Everybody say, where's the ring? Where's the ring? I said, don't ask me. I'm the minister. I was standing there and the sun was, right shining, in my face, and they were looking for the ring. Well, things happen, The thing is that we react. Response basically is like you begin to calculate, you begin to think and say that, hey, do I have to react like this? No. Maybe, I need to come down and count my resources and begin to say that it's not that bad, right? The minister is here and he's not going anywhere. So we have time to look for the ring. And we have so many people, 100 people to look for the ring. I'm sure we find it. So in life it's like this. It just came up. It's not what we want, but it came. So as a Christian, we need to learn a very valuable lesson. And the valuable lesson is that you never, wake up Jesus. That wasn't the valuable lesson, okay. They woke up Jesus and say that, Lord, save us. We are going to drown, I think Jesus got mad, How many of you get mad when you're not fighting? Never do that, Never, at least never do it to me, save us, 我们算命的，就是说这个是肯定的，在原文那里是说我们一定会死，他已经命定了，他是命令，他假设这个假设再不是假设，就是已经知道了，我一定会死，他成为这个主人了，耶稣成为一个门徒了，耶稣要听他话，就是说哦，很快我们就要死了。Honestly, you think about it, who is going to die first? I think Jesus would die first because he's a carpenter. A carpenter, I don't expect him to know how to swim, don't you? And a fisherman, think about a fisherman. I'm sure they know how to swim, right? Is that true? At least they are better swimmers, right? Now they are the one get panic. Oh man, this is bad. Well, the basic thing is life is like a suddenly. It's part of our life and also part of Christian life. Now you want to learn about kingdom discipleship? Basically, kingdom discipleship. The first thing out of Jesus' teaching, Sermon on the Mount, is that blessed are the poor in the spirit, for there is the kingdom of God. The poor in the spirit basically is that blessed are those that are without any dependence, any support, without anything that you can depend on. Then the kingdom of God is in you. That means that God can rule in your life. He becomes your king. When you're not looking for any, help, any assistance, you depend on Jesus totally, then the kingdom of God is in you. Because the king now can say that, I rule in your heart. Nowadays we depend on a lot of things. At least we say that next to God is Google. Don't we? We can find anything on Google. We don't need God sometimes, and that's a big problem. So we depend on a lot of things that we have. Human beings are great starters, but often bad finisher. Rick Warren. That's why we're messy. That's why the disciples were messy. They start out, pretty good, following Jesus. But suddenly things happen. We started out as Christians pretty good. We follow Jesus and we are willing to do whatever He wants us to do. And suddenly, what happened? Things happen. We're not doing well at school. We're not doing well with our relationship. We're not doing well, at work. We're not doing well at home. And all of a sudden, we want to quit following Jesus. How many people actually have been in this church and then now it's not here? You can count. In fact, most of the people I see here are new, So I've been here before, years ago. I forgot how many. I get old, I forgot. But now it's all new, except for the pastor and the elder. I still, the elder is forever. But the thing is that it is messy, but it's expected. Jesus never expects us to follow Him, and once we start, then we'll finish it. We have to go through a lot of twists and turns. Don't just, down on yourself, because the basic thing is that it's okay, right? Now, Jesus is not going to get mad when you are, when you stop or when you fail, when you falter, when you fall. Some of us, for some reason, we think that Jesus, once we fall, He's not going to talk to us, He's going to get mad. No. This is a letter, from someone, from the book. From messy spirituality, and someone wrote, a little kid said, "Dear God, I'm doing the best I can, Frank." Can you put your name down there? Dear God, I'm doing the best I can, and your name. I think you feel better. Sometimes 我们只有可以做，尽量去做。做门徒也不是可以勉强。对不对？今天也做不好的话，其实最重要就是你想一想为什么做不好，然后求神来帮助你，明天爬起来再做它，对不对？不要很容易就放弃啊。I think let's read together. All the persons of faith I know are sinners, doubters, unbelievers. We are because we are sure of ourselves. But because we trust that God is sure of us. Oh, Eugene Peterson, God is sure of us, Don't worry, we are all doubters, all the disciples, they're not good. They are a mess. Okay, so basically, after we follow Jesus, and in your life, after you fall or you fail, you need to pick yourself up or, let other people pick you up. Or let Jesus pick you up and refocus on Jesus. 最重要就是我们重新来认识主，因为我失败，然后我重新的来说，为什么我失败？其实因为主没有改变嘛，是我改变嘛。重新我要对主的认识 ，the mind, the thinking, the knowledge, the understanding of God. It's totally different, okay? Verse 26, He replied, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" Then He got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. Now, 小信这个字这个人小信的人，其实这个不只是一个小信的人他说就是说 ，Why are you afraid? Now, come on. I would be afraid, wouldn't you? But no, over here is asking, why are you afraid something irrationally? 根本就是没理由。举例let me give you one example. 如果你银行是有几亿，就是很多钱的话，然后你还是每天坐在那边去怕，就是我没钱用，没钱用。How many of you think this is normal? That you have billions of dollars in the bank account, and all of a sudden you continue to be fearful of using money or even spending a penny. Do you think it's normal? Do you think it's rational? It's not. It's irrational. We call this is some sort of psychological or mental illness. So some of us really have mental illness. Because when you look at the bank account, when you look at Jesus, he created the world. Not only he created the world, actually he put everything in place. Not only that, actually you believe that Jesus saved you. You believe that Jesus actually saved you from your sin. And you believe that Jesus actually died on your cross, but you can't believe that Jesus actually can help you with your job. You understand that? Or you don't understand that? That's irrational. That's completely irrational. Well, I've seen irrational clients, like walk into my office and begin to say that, I'm so afraid. Why are you afraid? Well, what are you afraid of? Orange. Orange? Orange? Yeah. Don't mention the word orange. See, the thing is that Jesus was with them. Jesus told them to go over to the other side. And Jesus did not ditch them. It's not that Jesus have all the gears on, and if Jesus actually put on diving gear and goggle and everything and say, have faith. No, I think they need to be afraid. But Jesus was sleeping. The thing is that Jesus would say that, well, come on, but we are human beings. Sometimes we react irrationally, we do. But focus. The main thing is that we need to focus. 27 says that the men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him. What kind of man is that? The word used is like even the wind and the ocean, let him arrange. Let him, listen to his order. The same word is used, in Genesis chapter 1 when God said that let there be, and there was. Everything was ordered by him. Everything, obeyed him. See, the thing is that the disciple began to say that, there's certain part of Jesus that we have never seen. We need to trust him that he can. The thing is that as long as I remember that I have billions of dollars in the bank, why should I be afraid of this bill? Right? You understand? If I'm so afraid of paying this bill and yet I still have billions of dollars in the bank, I think that I'm looking at the orange. Is that true? When you look at Jesus, you should not be afraid. Now, I don't know what Jesus wants you to do, but for sure that Jesus does not want you to be afraid, because he's more than sufficient for you. But we need to focus on Jesus. Well, let's read together, English or Chinese, doesn't matter. Okay. You rule over the certain sea. When its waves mounts up, you still them. So this actually was in the Old Testament, the God calms the sea. Okay, let's read together. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I am your God, and I am with you. The bank deposit is still there. Okay? Every time when you feel that, oh no, this is dead end street, I'm hitting the dead end of my life. No, that's not true. That's not true. You have irrational, fear. Messy Christianity and messy discipleship. Number one, there's a church mentioned in Revelation, and that is to the angel of the church of Laodicea wrote, all right, I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. That means that you are messy. Sometimes you're cold, sometimes you're hot. Sometimes you love me, sometimes you don't. Right? Is it some of us? We feel that? Right? So it's in the Bible. The church was like that. So God didn't say that, that's it, I'm done with you. No. When we fail to follow Jesus, let's read together. When we sin and messed up our lives, we find that God doesn't go off and leave us. He enters into our trouble and saves us. Okay? Yeah, Eugene Peterson, and Ken Fong said that heaven predestined us. He called it, we are the pre-loved child. That means that regardless of what, God loves us. Okay? Ephesians chapter 1 verse 5 says that He had predestinated. He already determined to love us and have us as His children. So I think that we focus on Him. He has all the abundance resources. Fixing our eyes on Jesus. That is what we need to do. Jesus, He did it. He actually walked the straight line. When He said that, I set my mind to go to Jerusalem, He did. He finished it. He is the only one. None of us can. Okay, so we can trust Him. We can trust Him. He knows the way. He knows how to do it. So when Christ died on the cross, He said, it is finished. I've done it. I finished the race. So we can trust Him. He can lead us. But sometimes we'll fall. We don't follow. It's okay. It's messy. He understands. God is not finished with you. He who thinks that He's finished with you is finished. You understand that? If you think that God is finished with you, you are finished. No. Okay, God always puts a finishing touch on everything He does, and then He said it is good. So God is not finished with you. You understand that? Okay, how do we follow Jesus? Spending time with Jesus daily. The church, just like we mentioned, is neither cold nor hot. Actually, the church, Revelation 3:20, and say the solution is like this. Let's read together. Here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they with me. The most important thing is that you understand that spending time with Jesus every day, be able to listen to Him, to hear from Him, to do what He wants you to do, that is discipleship. Program is good. People to help you is good, because we have a bad habit that not to really sit down and read our Bible and to pray. We don't do it. But other people come along to help us. I know maybe you guys have discipleship program. It's good. When I first became a Christian, that's exactly what happened to me. There was someone that is from Navigators, some sort of ministry, one-on-one every Thursday night. Take me in with dinner. That is a plus. Dinner is it always works. So have me memorize the verses. And up until today, I remember David Wilkinson in Australia. The time they spent with me is so precious, because up until today, I remember that I need to really sit with Jesus every day because of other people come along and help me. So program is good. People to come along with you to help you is good. The main thing is to focus on Jesus, to listen to Him. From the Bible or from the situation. If Jesus said wants you to do something, you do something. This morning, I was on my way down here. I got a text from my friend. I brought someone to Christ. Someone 他是从这个黑龙江来的，上个礼拜是 last Thursday, I brought him to Christ. And so all of a sudden I see the text, they say that he and his whole family wants to go to church. 所以我就停在那里，我就说好，我跟你们去教会，我先去那个教会。I stop by that church first, and then I come down here. So I need to really rush, and I need to really get up much earlier. But when Jesus said you need to do something, do it. Not everybody does it, doesn't really matter. The most important thing is listen to God. And you can listen to God when you read the Bible. If the Bible tells you to do something, you have that kind of prompting to do it, do it. Doesn't matter if any other person do it, you do it. Our road ahead is very messy. Today when I say that I'm nice and I obey God, tomorrow I won't. Someone ruined my shirt, I took it to the laundry, dry cleaner. It's expensive. But when I saw that thing, I was furious. I was furious, but then Jesus said, no. Go back there and just tell them, but then don't be angry. I did it. And then they say that we can't fix it, What are you going to do? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just being nice to you, okay? So that's it. Okay, walk out, no problem. I feel good. But when I went home, I was sitting there having my dinner. Bang! I hear something bang on my garage door. I walk out there. I knew what that was. That was the kid that was playing with the father, playing baseball. And right, they got onto my driveway. And thinking that the dad thinking that he would not throw the ball at my garage door. He did. Now I wasn't nice. I walked out there and I didn't even see the size of the man. I just said, hey, that's not cool. I was kind of raising my voice. Then I looked at him. I regret it, but I raised my voice. And the kid was there. It's bad. It's bad testimony. You understand? I mean, almost the whole street can hear me. So what I did was that right after that, I went to their house, knocked on the door, and said that, hey, I apologize. Just now, I reacted. I'm sorry. I'm really, sorry. And make sure the kid is okay. The kid said, I'm okay. Well, we react. I messed up. Sometimes I'm what? N, and sometimes I'm M. You too. It's okay. So the main thing is that, number one, we follow. Number two, we'll fail. Number three is that we focus on Jesus. It's okay. Things will be okay. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for who you are. You sent Jesus to this world to show us how to follow you. And grace is sufficient for us. Help us, each one of us, continue to feel good about following Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen. Sorry I go over time.